What is going on, guys? It is WrestleGamia here, back with some wrestling gaming news and rumours. Join us now as today we look at some of the biggest stories out there in the wrestling bubble of the gaming world, including gamers freaking out of shutdown reports to 2K19, was Cody Rhodes bound for RetroMania, and news on the release of 2K BattleGrounds. As always, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell for more videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first story, as 2K panics WWE 2K19 gamers. Well, just days after 2K tried to scramble back some goodwill from angry fans of their WWE franchise by announcing that 2K19's online servers would remain active for the foreseeable future, allowing gamers to playing it rather than downgrading to 2K20, it looked like they were caught in the middle of a bad PR storm yet again, as when gamers booted it up, it told them that the online service for the title would come down on May 31st this year, just only a few weeks from now. Understandably, this caused outrage among the fanbase, many of whom quickly took to Twitter to voice their anger. Though at this point there are so many things to be angry about within the 2K franchise that it feels like spinning in the ocean. But what made this one worse was what we mentioned previously, as this came just days after 2K had specifically said that they would be keeping servers open, so it must have felt like one more slap in the face from the company after so many already. Well, clearly aware of the potential disaster brewing and knowing full well that they were already on their last life given the less than stellar reaction to the announcement of their next game, WWE BattleGrounds, 2K were extremely quick to put out a tweet quelling the situation as best as it could, assuring fans that there would be no such shutdown of the game's servers coming. They tweeted, "Please disregard the in-game message stating that WWE 2K19 servers are coming down on May 31st. They will remain open for the foreseeable future." So it looks like the whole thing was a simple mistake. Of course, May 31st was the date that the servers were originally supposed to come down, so it seems likely that someone just forgot to remove the automated message that was set to pop up today. All innocent enough, but as we said, 2K are on very thin ice with their fan base right now, so they need to be a little more extra careful with these kind of things, as they don't want to give gamers any more excuses to be upset with them. The tweet being sent out to address the situation and ease fans' concerns was a wise move here, and based on the comments in the Twitter thread, heads seem to have cooled down. Though there are still a few angry fan comments in there asking them to spend more time and resources fixing 2K20 instead. Next up, Cody Rhodes in RetroMania. It looks like there was some more confusion relating to wrestling video games recently, though this time it didn't come as a result of fans being confused, but instead from Cody Rhodes. RetroMania, of course, is the upcoming sprite-style wrestling video game that will feature a mixture of past legends and current stars. Included in this roster is Colt Cabana, who recently signed with AEW, though did so after being announced for the game. Still, this raised questions about whether or not other AEW stars would have been allowed to appear in the game too. Well, apparently one of their game developers was asked this on their YouTube blog, specifically if they ever considered getting the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes for the game, to which they replied, "We tried." Someone promptly tweeted this to Cody, looking to find out why he turned them down, only for him to respond with some confused question marks, and then by saying, "I have literally no clue what this is." It's hard to know what happened here then. Were the developers lying, embellishing facts, and thought someone had spoken to Cody? Maybe someone did try to reach out to him and he just never got the message. We may never know exactly what happened, but this might end up being the thing that opens the lines of communication into getting AEW stars in the game, as a fan that tweeted this hopes it'll happen. Though we think it's unlikely given that AEW clearly have plans for their own video game in the near future, and likely don't want to put their wrestlers in other competing games, and certainly not top stars like Cody. And finally, more news on the release of 2K BattleGrounds. Now, 2K BattleGrounds is taking place of WWE 2K21, which was officially cancelled last week. Instead, fans are getting 2K BattleGrounds, which is a more arcade all-stars type game. Now, even though we saw in the trailer that John Cena was going to get eaten by an alligator, it's interesting to note that the ESRB has rated WWE 2K BattleGrounds T for teen, so it may not be focused towards children only. What's more interesting is that they released a blurb saying that matches are depicted in a somewhat exaggerated cartoon style, highlighted by impact sounds, slow motion effects, and occasional explosions. In one sequence, wrestlers climb and are shocked by an electrified cage while grabbing bags of cash. There's never been a wrestling game where we've had an electrified cage, nor in WWE, so this is really interesting. What's even more interesting is that the game has also been confirmed for Google Stadia. If you are buying 2K BattleGrounds, which console are you going to get it for? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling video game content.